Hi everyone, I'm Karen. So we've got an interesting conundrum. We've got a business model that isn't quite working anymore, right? We have a great charity doing wonderful things, but there's no money to keep it going. What are we going to do? And nobody wants to give them any without filling out exhausting 300-page grant proposals that have a success rate of 0.0001%. So we need to switch up the business model for Oki. So Jeff Godelf has been talking a lot right now on LinkedIn about the Lean UX Canvas. And that's what we've put on everybody's desk tonight. We're going to go through this Lean UX Canvas as a way of really unpacking our business problem, connecting it back to a customer problem, and then figuring out the logic story that we need in order to shift Paul's business model. Because a business model, at the end of the day, is just an economic logic story about your customer. That's all it is. And what do we do great in CX? Logic stories. We think about the logic of our customers all the time. This is prime opportunity for us to get involved in a slightly different way of taking what's a really great idea and figuring out how can we use our smarts about experience and customer and design and spin it around a little bit to bring in some commercial understanding. So we can say, hey, here's a really great idea on how we can get a different revenue stream working for Paul, a different business model for him to get this up and running so more kids get access to outdoor classrooms. So we've got 45 minutes. Every single box that you're going to go through from boxes 1 through 5 of this canvas is about unpacking the business problem and its assumptions, right? We have to figure out what all of our assumptions are happening inside this space before we start thinking about how we're going to solve them all. So we're going to spend about half an hour figuring that part out. Box 5 is where we start thinking about solutions. You've got about 10 minutes for that. Don't worry, I'm going to move you through these like butter. It's going to go very, very fast. And then the last bit, 6 through 7, is all about the hypothesis. How do all of our assumptions show up inside of a new logic story? How does this show up so that we can give something to Paul that's really exciting? And then last but not least, if you've got a little bit of time, we can start thinking about what sort of experiments can Paul run in order to see if this is true. Every single good idea has to be broken down into assumptions, hypothesis, and experiment before you scale it out. What I'd like you to do is pick your favorite hypothesis as a team. You've written about 5 hypotheses. Pick the riskiest, most craziest, most impressive one that you've got, and we're going to share it back with the group.
Partnership model with supermarkets would probably be our first thing, industry would call on to see if they're interested in partnering with Oki.
But we believe we can create an overall mental health improvement for busy and stressed adults or children who need a way to de-stress and refuel well-being, growing within their community.
With the recurring subscription to seasonal planting activity packs. So it's not just the app which will be there, it's also a subscription of the seats and the seasonal seats, which would really help.
Enviro schools, and they've got different levels that they're at, gold, silver Enviro schools. If they take on a buddy school and can teach that school about the app in their school and sort of spread it almost like a pyramid kind of system, I guess. One school can take on these 3 schools and those 3 take over the world.
Gardens will have the ongoing sustainable support and happy teachers/kids if the Board of Trustees sees parents become more involved with the school through take-home packs that will include both seeds and a companion app that tracks their progress and links it to the school progress.
Basically, obviously, the first thing is to get funding. You've sort of got to a point where you've got a good product. It's now getting that funding and going to various institutions or charities or government to get the funding. So you need a sort of a metric where you can gather the data, which obviously you've recognised anyway. So we believe that consumers will grow productive gardens if we can provide a delivery service with an informative app that collects that data.
And so we really wanted to turn this into a movement. We believe that gardening could become a really important part of New Zealand education, which will be achieved if teachers see kids becoming more engaged through perhaps a gamified version of the app, so where schools start competing, where kids can score points by continually engaging and doing the actions in the app.
So we focused on a gardens as a service model. And our hypothesis is we believe that parents will engage with and pay for Oki if their kids gain the life skills in an outdoor garden setting, and we're going to achieve that by using the Kendo online platform that parents are accustomed to using.
That Oki need an instant garden, so one that keeps gardening alive, and that it's convenient for the wannabe gardeners to attain a quick and easy garden to grow and harvest, with a revenue model that's a fundraiser through the school. But like, a garden in a box, a bit like food in a box or food bank.
We believe there will be an increase in app usage if parents and children can get hands-on learning experiences through a subscription box with an accompanying app.
It's like basically integrating in the process whatever they create, basically take that home with them, or perhaps additionally throw something like a school market where they can sell the produce that they make, so therefore they get tied into like economic models and stuff like that.
We believe that we'll gain more users if we promote and sell the app at garden stores at the time of plant purchase. The app has local regional content that will help all gardeners. The campaign will encourage giving back to the community with a focus on charity and with a focus on schools and education.